you guys heard of the Hat Man? Are you familiar with him? The supposed shadowy being that visits your room at night when you're trying to sleep. He wears a long jacket and a black hat, and he kind of just stands in your doorway and watches you when you're sleeping. A lot of people have reported hearing about him in many different cultures, different parts of the world. And it's quite fascinating that so many different walks of life are familiar with the Hat Man and can describe him like in the exact same way. I have a lot of experience with the Hat Man. Touch wood, I haven't seen him in a very long time, but there were a few years there where every night I saw the Hat Man, and every night I was afraid of him. Like, I was never not afraid when I would see him. I would kind of like wake up and roll over and look at the door, and I would see him there, and I would just like roll back and like pull the covers over my head and be like, nope, I don't see anything there. And I guess I just used like 5-year-old logic that if I don't see him, therefore he can't see me, therefore he doesn't exist. I do feel like he's not a supernatural entity or a demon or anything like that. I don't feel like the Hat Man can actually hurt people in the real world. This is at least my experience. If you've been hurt by the Hat Man, you may be eligible for compensation. But for me personally, I feel like when my physical and mental health were like at an all-time low, that's when I would see him. And it wasn't until I started doing crazy things like going to therapy and seeing a psychiatrist that I stopped seeing him. So I do think it has something to do with like sleep hygiene and then just mental health and stuff. And as I take care of those things, my brain stops inventing like sleep paralysis demons to scare me into taking care of myself. I'm not sure why the brain does that. It is a great mystery as to why the brain has chosen that particular character to haunt all of us, like the world over. That is quite fascinating, honestly. But I don't think it's any kind of actual physical demon that can get at us. Although, it could be argued that we're putting so much energy and attention into it that we are kind of creating a tulpa. We're creating this like thought creation that is haunting us, if so to speak. So that is kind of a fascinating thing to look at like that. Yeah, I used to see the Hat Man all the time. I'm glad I haven't seen him in a long time. Have you seen the Hat Man? Let me know in the comments. Tell me what your experience with the Hat Man is. And coming up next week on a full-length video on the channel, I'm going to tell a story of the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.